Adventure Comics. Number 267. December 1959. A strange creature rages through Smallville. Superboy arrives, ready to lend his strength, but instead of welcome, he is met with indifference and dismissal from the crowd. Once hailed as their greatest protector, he now finds himself prisoner of the superheroes. At the Smallville airport, Superboy sees a passenger plane in distress and prepares to steady its descent with his super breath instead of using his super speed and super strength to do the job quicker and more efficiently. Before he can act, Cosmic Boy arrives, pushing him aside and taking over. After changing into a Superboy costume for some reason, Cosmic Boy uses magnetic rays to lower the aircraft. After changing back to his effeminate lavender and pink costume, Cosmic Boy is greeted warmly by Superboy, recalling their earlier meeting, but gives only a cold and dismissive reply. Confused by the treatment, Superboy wonders why his former ally has turned into kind of a dick. Onlookers suggest Superboy feels threatened, laughing that he is jealous of being overshadowed. Though he denies it, he realizes each protest only fuels their doubt. Later that day, chaos erupts as a giant robot bursts from the science exposition with its controls jammed. Superboy wastes time explaining to the crowd how he plans to stop it with his vision, but Lightning Lad intervenes, destroying the machine with a bolt of electricity. Superboy congratulates Lightning Lad, and again notices he is being ignored and compared unfavorably. Even as he tries to understand the shift in attitude, townspeople openly prefer the visiting heroes. As he reflects further, another crisis breaks out when a prisoner seizes a detective's gun. Superboy moves to act, but Saturn Girl steps in, insisting the danger requires her abilities instead. Saturn Girl focuses her powers on the criminal, making him look like he is choking the snake, forcing him to drop his gun. Though the illusion fades, the officers subdue him, crediting Saturn Girl for the victory. Superboy offers her kind words, but Saturn Girl rebuffs him like the other heroes. The crowd now mocks the boy they once admired, openly claiming the future heroes have surpassed him. Even at home, he finds no comfort. The Kents scold him, suggesting he is whining like a bitch rather than enabling his kvetching by offering support, leaving him disheartened and convinced no one cares for him anymore. Determined to regain the admiration of Smallville, since he hasn't been the center of attention for about 20 minutes, and in desperate need of reaffirmation and emotional validation, Superboy resolves to prove himself by performing a feat so impressive that it cannot be ignored. Seeking to regain admiration, Superboy tunnels a vast cavern beneath Smallville, hoping to create a wonder that will attract visitors. Instead, the project unleashes a monstrous beast from underground that bursts into the city, endangering everyone. As he reels from the disaster, clearly forgetting that he is invulnerable and that his godlike superpowers make him nigh invincible, the Legion members rush in, criticizing him and taking control of the fight. Working seamlessly together, Cosmic Boy, Lightning Lad, and Saturn Girl drive the creature back into the depths and seal the cavern, earning the townspeople's cheers, while Superboy faces their scorn and starts crying like a scolded toddler. Crushed by rejection, he despairs at being unwanted, until he spots Crypto approaching, a reminder of loyalty and companionship. Superboy's hope for comfort shatters when even Crypto ignores him to join the visiting heroes. Feeling abandoned, he appeals to the mayor, only to be told the town no longer needs him, as 3 heroes are better than 1. An argument that collapses the moment you remember that 4 heroes would be stronger than 3. His foster parents also turn against him, expressing shame and wishing to send him away, deepening his despair. Heartbroken, Superboy takes a final look at Smallville, bidding it farewell. Instead of just relocating to another town, he takes the self-pity act way too far, and he chooses exile from Earth, believing he is no longer wanted. In space, he spots a large gathering of super beings flying together toward a distant destination, sparking curiosity about their purpose. Superboy follows the crowd of super beings through space, puzzled by their destination. They arrive at a strange world where enormous statues of him stand in parks and cities, and even an entire settlement bears his name. Welcomed with ceremony, he is told he has reached Superboy Planet, where a council awaits his presence. Entering the chamber, he is shocked to see Cosmic Boy, Lightning Lad, and Saturn Girl presiding as judges. They announce him guilty without explanation, leaving him stunned at the sudden verdict. Seized by guards, Superboy is thrust into a kryptonite-lined cage, his sentence marked as life imprisonment. Adding insult to injury, Cosmic Boy mangles the grammar with a homophone error, using the wrong form of the word your. Weakened by kryptonite bars, Superboy is too drained even to speak as he watches his captors construct a full prison designed to keep him alive but powerless. They remark with irony that everyone on this world has powers except him, jeering that he deserves his fate. When the prison is completed, a debate arises about whether he should at least be told the reason for his sentence. Lightning Lad insists he merits no such consideration. But as we all knew, the Legion can't shut up, and moments later reveals the truth behind their actions. They explain that this planet, built by heroes from across the cosmos, was created as a tribute to him, intended to honor Superboy with a surprise dedication ceremony. The Legion reveals they used a device called the Futurescope to examine Superboy's destiny, as their records from that period were lost. To his shock, the screen shows visions of him 5 years later, sinking an aircraft carrier, wrecking an airstrip, and burying a factory, all acts branded as criminal destruction. According to the device, he is fated to become a dangerous outlaw. They argue that imprisoning him in a kryptonite cell is the only way to safeguard the universe. What was meant as Superboy Planet, a tribute to a brilliant past, is now a monument to disgrace, like all the Marvel Universe movies and TV shows after Endgame. Finally, they admit the entire rejection in Smallville, including the coldness of his parents and even Crypto, was fabricated by Saturn Girl's telepathy. It was all a scheme designed to break his spirit and lure him into capture. Superboy offers no defense and remains silent, then he is cast fully into the kryptonite prison. The heroes of Superboy Planet look on without protest, watching the boy they once admired condemned for life. Days later, a Superboy trophy explodes for some reason and shatters the prison, restoring his powers as he escapes into a collapsing landscape bathed in eerie blue light. He discovers a dangerous substance released by the blast, the element Siegelian, its radiation lethal to the Legion, just as kryptonite is to him. Hearing their cries for help, he uses a mighty shout to alter the element's structure, neutralizing its deadly effects and saving the very heroes who imprisoned him. With the danger ended, Superboy is surrounded by superheroes who declare their renewed confidence in him. A message from Earth arrives, releasing him from secrecy and allowing him to explain. He reveals that the aircraft carrier, airstrip, and factory he destroyed were empty sites tied to poison gas production, eliminated under orders from the president. The Futurescope had misread the events of the present as his future. Inexplicably, no one in the Legion bothered to actually watch the Futurescope visions through to the end. They saw fragments of destruction but never waited to see the outcome, condemning Superboy on half-glimpsed scenes that, if fully observed, would have revealed the truth. Cleared of suspicion, heroes rush to Earth to restore his reputation. Reunited with the Kents and Crypto, he finds Smallville eager to welcome him back. On Superboy Planet, the heroes celebrate with loud cheers in his honor, despite the fact that the city around them now lies in smoking ruins.